Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Newmarket Racecourse here on Sunday. It is the 7th of May, 2023. Gonna look at the stakes races, including the 1,000 Guineas, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for racecourses around the world. Let's look at the stakes action from Newmarket, races 1, 4, and 5, the 115, the 3 o'clock, and the 340. The first race, the 115, it's the Group 3 Gordon Richard Stakes. It's Group 3 event for Class 1 horses going for a $54,000 purse race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 6 horses are going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 3 horse, Francesco Clemente, there we go, can't speak. 3-2-1 in your TriCash trifecta. 3-2-1 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 3 horse Francesco Clemente, 4-year-old colt by DeBowie. Jonathan Gazin trains. Frankie Dettori gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 23rd of July at Newmarket on the July course. Mile and a quarter fast ground in Class 2 handicap, and he bolted clear. He won by 9 lengths in a gallop, quickened up nicely. Nobody was catching him that day. He's going to have handle given the ground for the first time ever, but I think his class could really get down it. He has some forwardly pace. I think he could run a really good race. Two back around the 19th of May at Sandown. Firm ground, a mile and a quarter in a Class 4 novice race, and he won by 1.5 lengths. And again, betting to the ground at 22 cents to the dollar. He basically stalked, he quickened up nicely, and he beat a good group of horses home. The two who finished behind him were carrying enormous weights on their back in that handicap, or in that novice race, carrying 142 pounds, both of them. So, he had some little less weight there. Still ginormous weight on his back of 135, but nothing bad about that race there. And then prior to that, here at Newmarket, on the Rolling Mile on the 13th of April, 1 mile in a Class 3 main race, won by 2.25 lengths, had the speed from the outside or the inside post or whatever side you want to go by. And again, he was on the drive and excelling that day. He's run 3 races. He's improved with all of them. Stepping up to group quality horses shouldn't be a problem. I think he could win. I think your second likeliest winner is 2 years ago is the Derby winner at Dahlia. William Buick's on this one for Charlie Appleby. Most recently in the Champion Stake, I thought he just might have needed the race there. He finished second by a half length behind Bay Bridge. Just, plodded along. He needs something more there, but he ran his heart out. Prior to that Doncaster mile and a quarter in conditions race, he won by 3.25 lengths that day, and it was basically a paid workout. First start back from the arc. He just needed the race. They got the race carded, and he took off clear there. And then the Champions of 2021, he finished 5th by 7 lengths, wide poster on the sludge. He wasn't handling it there. He ran a sneaky good 4th though in the arc in 2021. He probably wants to go a mile and a half, but for a seasonal reappearance, he could definitely win against these horses. I'll use him in the play spot, but I think Francesco Clemente is your very likely winner. But to recount my selection for the 115, the first race from Newmarket, it's the Group 3 Gordon Richard Stakes. I'm going to take the 3 horse Francesco Clemente. Give kudos to the 2 horse of Dayar. 3-2-1 TriCash trifecta. 3-2 in your multi-race. The 4th race, the 3 o'clock, it's the Group 2 Dahlia Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for a $150,000 purse race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Fillies mares only. We have a field of 9 horses going 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 on the Rolling Mile. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 1 horse with the Moonlight. I'm going to go 195 in your TriCash trifecta. 195 TriCash trifecta. Top selection of 1 horse with the Moonlight. 4-year-old filly by Frankel. Godolphin Doan, Charlie Appleby trains. William Buick gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Group 1 Grade 1 Jenny Wiley Stakes at Keeneland, a mile and the 16th on the 15th of April. First start back stateside. She finished second by 3 lengths. And Italio just really freaked and ran a terrific race. This horse just kind of stuck, was a little bit wide, and he just couldn't gain the ground. But she ran her heart out there. Refreshing back to the UK, going 1,800, drawn on the stand side, which I think is very good for this horse. I think she could run the race to find the winner's circle again. 2 back, she ran the Group 2 Balanchine at Maidan, a mile and 1/8 on the 24th of February, and she probably ran one of the best races of her life. She won by 4.5 lengths. She stuck, she quickened up nicely, and nobody was catching her. The turn of foot late was very nicely done. An all-around good race for her there. And then 3rd of February at Maidan, 1 mile in the Group 2 Cape Verde. First off the bench, she probably wasn't 100% cranked that day, but she still won by 3/4 length, quickened up nicely. It wasn't as easy as the Balanchine, but it was still a very good race there. And then prior to that, in the Group 2 Lake Placid, Saratoga, mile 16, 20th of August, she finished second by 3/4 length behind Haughty, who's actually a decent horse, ran this past weekend at Churchill. But this horse was just wide, and she just couldn't catch Haughty, who had the jump on her, but she ran her heart out there. And then probably, again, one of her best races stateside in the Saratoga Oaks at Saratoga, mile 3/16 on the Mellon Turf Course. She won by 1 3/4 lengths, and William Buick won the race going into the clubhouse turn. She got good position there, walked on the front end, quickened up nicely, An all-around good race. Coming back to the UK at 3-1, I think she's a very likely winner. The 9-horse Via Sestina is your second likeliest winner. I think I'm going to use this horse in the Quan Pod. Jamie Spencer's on this one for George Bowie. Most recently in the Group 3 Prix Philippe d'Air at Toulouse, a mile quarter in France on the 11th of November, she won by a half length, and on the demanding ground, she settled well. She had a decent turn of foot, and she got the job done. A very good race there. Prior to that, in the Group 3 Pride Stakes at Newmarket over the mile quarter, she finished second by a neck that day, and she just kind of stalked. She needs something more, but again, nothing bad about that race. And then they took her to the mile quarter at Windsor in the Group 3 Winter Hill Stakes. She finished fourth by 6.5 lengths. She saw some tougher males that day, and she never really was comfortable. But coming back to Newmarket, where she won over this course in a handicap in October 2021 quite nicely, I'm going to give her a shot here today. I like her over the mile and eighth, and a bit of an outside play at 8-1. But to recap my selection for the fourth at 3 o'clock from Newmarket, it's to Group 2 Dahlia. Let's take the one horse with the Moonlight. Give kudos to the 9 horse Via Sestina. 195, Tricast Trifecta. 1-9 in your place pod or quad pod. Probably Quant Pop will play. But let's get to the fifth race, the featured 340 now. It is the Group 1 1,000 Guineas. It's a Group 1 event for Class 1 horses going for a $600,000 purse race for 3-year-old fillies. 20 of them are going to the starting gate. The distance of ground is 1,600 meters or a mile on the Rolly Mile. I'm going to take the 11 horse Meditate as a top selection. I'm going to go 11-8-3 in your TriCast trifecta. 11-8-3 TriCast trifecta. Top selection 11 horse Meditate. 3-year-old filly by No Nay Never. Coolmore owns. Ian O'Brien trains. Ryan Moore gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came on the 4th of November at Keeneland. 1 mile in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf, and she won by 2.5 lengths that day. And, she just basically had a little bit of a wide poster, but she settled well out of the gate from a tracking trip. She quickened up nicely, and she destroyed the group of horses home. First started around 2 turns, first started over a routing trip. There was nothing bad about that race. Coming here, gonna have to handle give in the ground, but she handled some give at Curra 3 back. I expect her to really run a good race and find the winner's circle again. 2 back in the Group 1 Chevrolet Park Stakes at Newmarket, 6 furlongs, 24th of September, decreasing the trip from 2 weeks prior. She finished second by 3/4 length. I thought the trip was just a little bit too short for her. She stalked. She needed something more, but she got down the race course well. And then the Group 1 Morgulaire Stud Stakes at the Curra, 7 furlongs soft ground, the 11th of September. She finished second by 2.25 lengths that day. Again, she just needs something more, but she ran her heart out there. And then at the Curra before that, 20th of August, 7 furlongs in the Group 2 Debutante Stakes. She won by 3/4 lengths, speed from the inside, and she got the job done. A very, very good race there. And then win the Albany on very fast ground before that, Royal Ascot. Coming here today, I think she's been crying out for the mile run here in the UK. She's going to get it. She should get a good trip on the towards the outside. I'm going to use her. The 8 horse Maymouse Girl is your second likeliest winner, I think, for Richard Hannon and Kevin Stott. Most recently in the Neil Gwynn at Newmarket during a Craving meeting over the 7. She won by 2.75 lengths that day, and the stand side posters were really killer during the Craven meeting, and this horse took it clearly. She basically had a great stalking trip. She quickened up, and she kept going, and she had a lot left in the tank, it looked like. Before that, on debut here in Newmarket in October in a Class 4 Fillies Novice, she won by 2, and again, they never really got to the bottom of the horse. The extra furlong shouldn't be bad. I like the stand side 20 post draw. Watch out for this horse late. And also talk about the 3 horse Dream of Love for William Buick. The race at Maidan last time out the place wasn't bad at all, where she was forward place. And then before that, in illicit stakes here in October, she finished third by 1/4 lengths. And she might have won it longer that day, but she ran decently. Her speed figures are up to scratch, I think. Watch out for her at 8-1 to run a sneaky good race. A horse to definitely use in that quad pod. But to recap my selection for the 5th, the 340 from Newmarket, it's the Group 1 1,000 Guineas. Let's take the 11 horse Meditate. Give kudos to the 8 horse Maymouse Girl and the 3 horse Dream of Love. 11-8-3 TriCast Trifecta. 11-8-3 in the quad pod. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.